I'm gonna quickly use the restroom, and then I'll start reading. All right. Look for everyone, right? All right. You want to give a quick explanation of what we do? No, you want me to do it? All right, friends. If you're new here or you're regular, welcome. We find hope in what Jesus done, and we always make room to wrestle that out. We obviously enjoy playing video games, but we also know that we need a hope beyond us. So in that wrestling of that with the work of Jesus, we're going through a book called Look for Everyone as part of a large collection called the New Testament for everyone. So welcome, my friends. Welcome. All right, you ready?
Okay. Yeah, we read.
Did we? Oh yeah, and another book. Yep. Not in the book of Luke, but like in the book of Mark or Matthew. On one of those days, what's this?
Bible!
On one of those days, while Jesus was teaching the people in the temple and announcing the good news, the chief priests and the scribes came up with the elders and said to him, "Tell us, by what authority are you doing these things? Or who gave you this authority?" "I've got a question for you, too," said Jesus. "So tell me this. Was John's baptism from God, or was it merely human?" "If we say it was from God," they said among themselves, "he'll say, 'So why didn't you believe him?' But if we say, 'merely human,' all the people will stone us, since they're convinced that John was a prophet." So they replied that they didn't know where John came from. "Very well then," said Jesus, "nor would I tell you by what authority I do these things." Do you actually remember, like, he pretty much answered their questions by asking them a question? Because what did John proclaim Jesus was? Oh yeah, John's a prophet, but what did John think who Jesus was? Right. So he had the authority of God to be doing what he's doing. What's this? There is a debate today in Britain about how loud soldiers should shout while on parade. The army is anxious. It seems that sooner or later a soldier will suffer damage hearing because a sergeant major has bellowed an order at high volume and at close range. The newspapers naturally think this is ridiculous. Orders have to be heard. It's no use whispering on the field of battle. At the same time, the sergeant major receives orders from more senior officers, and they do not normally shout. In fact, the further up the rank you go, the less likely are the orders to make any noise. The commanding officer may simply write down his instructions or speak them in a quiet voice to his next in command. So if someone were to come to a parade ground or army barracks and try to discover who was in command and where they got their authority from, it wouldn't be much good assuming that the loudest voice meant the most important authority. Really interesting. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
So, you know how in armies, they make commands like this. Stand up, soldier. So in Britain, the higher authority you get, the actual quieter you get, that you don't have to yell for authority.
No.
Well, that's actually like just the sergeant. That's just like one rank above. But like if you're a commander, you don't have to yell.
Well, that's your order.
But even then, like you have communication now by electronics. Isn't that interesting? At the same time, oh, here we go. We might have forgotten. We might have forgotten John the Baptist by this stage of the gospel story, but Luke hasn't, because Jesus hasn't. When Jesus came into Jerusalem and threw the traders out of the temple, he was acting like someone who thinks he's in charge. But there already was an authority structure in the temple, a pyramid with guards at the bottom and the chief priest at the top, with the high priest himself as the most senior figure. Who does Jesus think he is to come in without any accreditation and start throwing his weight around? That is a natural question to ask. But Jesus' answer, which seems to take them by surprise, must not have seemed natural at all. What has John got to do with Jesus? Is this just, as their whispered debate among themselves seems to suggest they think, a trick question to catch them out and make them look foolish in the eyes of the people? Not at all. Here we go. Remember what John thought who Jesus was? Well, we all think John's a prophet, but who did John think who Jesus was?
Okay.
Yeah, John. The reason Jesus asked the question is because the authority he has over the temple is precisely his royal, messianic authority, and his royal status and authority was conferred on him publicly at the time of John's baptism, with the descent of the dove and the voice from heaven. If John was a true prophet, then Jesus is indeed the true Messiah, with authority over the temple, because he was marked out as such as he came up out of the water. If, of course, John was not a true prophet, if he was simply a dangerous dreamer, leading people astray, then Jesus too may be acting out of line, as the authority obviously think, but dare not say. By making John so important in the early parts of the story, Luke has already explained what is happening. Authority is therefore passing, quietly and without many people noticing, from the old system to the new. For Luke, riding with half an eye, at least on the Roman Empire, this is enormously important. Jesus, for himself, is the Lord of the world, the one before whom Caesar himself ought to shiver in his shoes. How much more is he Lord of the temple and all that is in it? The high priest may make the loudest noise in Jerusalem, with his henchmen and his court, his access to the Roman governor, and the prestige that comes with his ceremonial and political role, but now his power is challenged by one who speaks more quietly, one who comes with prophetic and royal authority that challenges the old regime and introduces the new. From now on, even as he hangs on the cross that marked Caesar's rule, mocked by the same chief priest, Jesus will exercise that authority, the powerful authority of saving and healing love, until all acknowledge it. We today, living out beyond the rule of Caesar and the chief priest, may find it quite a complex business to come to terms with the authority of Jesus. We should, of course, as Christians, acknowledge him as sovereign of our lives, our thoughts and actions, and seek to live under that authority, even when it comes, as it often does, in whispers rather than a loud voice. But if Jesus is master or Lord of the whole world, as Luke certainly believed, we have the task of making that lordship known. Normally, it won't be appropriate to overturn tables and expel people from buildings. What symbolic actions would be appropriate in our world to make the point that Jesus possesses all authority in heaven and on earth? That's a good question. So, Char, what do you think you should do to show that Jesus has authority on heaven and on earth? All right. Wait for the next part. What part's this? I need another swig of water. Man. All that chicken sandwich and that ice cream has made me so sleepy and so thirsty.
That
Water, so I thought it'd be cool just to throw it down.
is cool. But don't do it to that though.
Got lights. And we got the camera. Or forgot lights. And action. Alright, what part's this? Jesus began to tell people this parable. There was a man who planted a vineyard, let it out to tent farmers, and went abroad for a long while. When the time came, he sent a slave to the farmers to collect from them some of the produce of the vineyard. But the farmers beat him and sent him away empty-handed. Yeah, in a different book. You have good memory. He then sent a further slave, and they beat him, abused him, and sent him back empty-handed. But he sent yet a third, and they beat him up and threw him out. So the master of the vineyard said, "What shall I do?" What does he do? He sent his son, right. "I'll send my beloved son. They will certainly respect him." But when the farmers saw him, they said to each other, what did they say to each other? What did they say to each other? "Ah, this is the heir. Let's kill him. And then the inheritance will belong to us." And they threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. So what would the master of the vineyard do? What would the master of the vineyard do?
Them out.
Right. He'll come and wipe out those farmers and give the vineyard to others. When you heard this, they said, "God forbid." But Jesus looked round at them and said, "What then does it mean in the Bible when it says,"
That's Old Testament.
right, "the very stone the builders refused, now for the corner's top is used. Everyone who falls on that stone will be smashed to smithereens. If it falls on anyone, it will crush them." The scribes and the chief priests tried to lay hands on him then and there, but they were afraid of the people, because they knew that Jesus had told this parable against them. Alright, I think you listened pretty well. I don't think we need to go over again. Alright, are you ready for the... What are you ready for? Oopsie.
Yeah.
What's this called?
No.
Well, I mean, we just did Bible. What part's this? Called a koopsie? I hope that's a very interesting word we just made up. Koopsie. One of the most dramatic scenes ever to take place in the British House of Commons occurred in January 1642. King Charles I went in person to the House to try to arrest 5 members of Parliament who had opposed him. I think he's talking about the Glorious Revolution right here. Speaker of the House himself stood in his way and prevented the king coming any further to the chamber. Man. Yes! Right before the Glorious Revolution.
Yeah.
I know, I was right. Oops. The Speaker of the House himself stood in his way and prevented the king coming any further into the chamber where the Commons met. A painting of the incident hangs in the lobby of the Place of Westminster to this day. It was something of a turning point, another step on the road to civil war. and to the king's eventual execution. No self-respecting first-century monarch would ever have allowed himself to get in that position, and no landowner would tolerate for very long the kind of behavior described in this parable. But there are striking parallels between this story and the one Jesus told, his last explanation, in parable form, of what was going on in his coming to Jerusalem. The vineyard owners had sent messengers to the tenant farmers, to no effect. No first-century Jew would have needed to be told what the owners stood for God, that the owner stood for God. The farmer for Israel and the messengers for the prophet. So you guys see, okay. Who was the vineyard owner? God. Who were the messengers? Prophet. And who were the farmers? No, well, Israel, the ones who hold the vineyard. They kept killing the messengers, right? So Israel kept killing the prophets. And so then God's like, I'll send my son. And what do? Kill him, right? Finally, no one left to send. He sent his own beloved son. In Jesus' own understanding, he came as the rightful king to his father's tenant. And they were barring his way, determined to keep the vineyard for themselves. Eventually, they threw him out and killed him. So far, the meaning of the story is obvious and fits like a glove with the whole of Luke's gospel so far. Jesus is the rightful heir to the ancient prophets and has come to complete their work, challenging Israel one more time to give to the covenant God the honor and obedience that is his due. Israel is charged with bearing the fruit of justice in her own life and showing God's grace to the world around. But Israel has insisted on keeping the grace for itself, practicing injustice in its own life, and seeking to repel and resist the world around by whatever violence might be necessary. Israel has rejected the way of peace and will now reject its final messenger. But the story doesn't stop there. The vineyard owner will return at last. Luke has long prepared us for this too. And when he does, the judgment Israel longed to see on the pagan nations will be met out on her. He will destroy the tent and give the vineyard to others. The present regime in Jerusalem and the self-appointed guardians of Israel's laws and heritage are signing their own death warrants. Their rejection of Jesus will be taken up by God into the rebuilding plans for his people. The stone the builders refused, in this case the Messiah sent to Israel but rejected, has become the head cornerstone. This quotation is from, so he said, like Old Testament, from the book of Psalms 118 verse 22. The same psalm echoed by the crowd in 1938. It was, after all, a psalm of pilgrimage. It uses a quite different image from that of the vineyard. Imagine a builder's yard, full of stone, ready for the great task. The workers are sorting out the lumps of marble and granite into different sizes and shapes, so they can haul them up to their places on the wall. There is one stone that doesn't belong in any of the groups. They put it over by itself, expecting to throw it out when the job is done, but when they have almost finished, they discover that they need a stone of a particular shape for the very last piece, to round off the top of the quarter. There is a stone they rejected earlier. It wouldn't fit anywhere else, but it will fit here. To quote this verse at this point rams the message home. The workers may reject Jesus now, but they will find that he will be vindicated. He will be seen as a true Messiah. He will build the true temple and will himself be its chief feature, the standard by which everything and everyone else is to be judged. That is probably the meaning of the otherwise puzzling verse 18. If this was what happened when Jesus came to Jerusalem, what should we expect to happen when his followers go today to the places of power and injustice? What sort of reaction will the gospel receive when it is announced in places where people use religion, including Christianity, as a means of reinforcing their own security instead of shining God's light into the world? It may well mean rejection and violence. The history of Christian martyrdom, not least in the last century, bears stark witness to that. But the vineyard owner will have the last word. Not only is the blood of the martyrs always the seed of the church, what happened to Jesus was not just an example of what always happened under these circumstances. It was decisive victory. Ever since then, his followers have gone on their mission. Not in order to try yet one more time to persuade the rich, the powerful, and even the religious to accept God's way of peace and love, but in order to declare by their life and their works that this way has already triumphed in Jesus, that the renewed vineyard is bearing fruit, that the new temple is being rebuilt with its cornerstone already in place. All right. So how does he get on his victory throne? Right. So as his follower, how do we get ushered into victory?
Well, I know this. Help them.
And also dying. Declaring God's truth and accepting whatever outcome happens. Well, even today, if declaring Jesus' truth puts me in a place to die, I'll accept it. Even how hard that sounds. Now we can start.
I'm probably gonna play
Oh, okay. I'm going to play
it.
the Hearts of Kingdoms. Streamer mode.
Okay. What update?
Oh, see? We get Minecraft for Windows very soon in the summer. So when you see 1.19 right there, that means the new update has been released. Because that says the update version.
Getty craft
I'm going to use...
controller.
we'll see. I don't want to use controller, but I will if I have to.
And controller button. Now you stand.
You know, Carly, there are people who do. And that's okay. If you truly think that that's okay. Alright. I have to go... I want to go full lightning defense. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of...
You can do a pressure plate. You know, but look, can't do a button. That makes no sense. Dad. No.
Alright, let's fight Ursula.
You pathetic fools! I rule the seas now!
And that
The
took
sea
all my
and
lightning
all its
bolts.
spoils
So,
bow to my power! Hey, not so fast! Get ready for this! Get ready for this! Very tasty. Get ready for this! Insolent little fool! Not so fast! Get ready for this! Get ready for this! Very tasty! Not very tasty! Insolent little fool!
Heal.
Not so fast!
Come on.
Get ready for this! Very tasty! Get ready for this! Very tasty! You dare to strike me!
Come on.
Not so fast! Get ready for this!
See ya.
Not very tasty! Get ready for this! Instant little fool!
no.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, I'm angry. Time to teach you some respect. Very tasty. This won't be pretty.
Heal.
This won't be Now very tasty. This won't be pretty. This won't be pretty. Very tasty. This won't be pretty.
Heal.
Now very tasty. This won't be pretty.
Go. Finally. Once you figure it out, figuring it out. Swimming is weird. Weird. We got to try that.
It's fun.
Classic. You will fight your heart. Finally, attain the power of thunder. Right, warrior. Light, right. Ray of light. White. Oh, those are my rings. My rings of power. What is it? I'll try it. Gabriel made it? Alright, back friends.
Thunder!
Oh, it just flat out block. Oh, yeah, where each world has a keyhole and it's sealing up this one.
Tell me, Sora, your world, what's it like?
Oh, about that. Sorry for lying to you.
It's okay. Besides, if you can travel to other worlds, maybe I can too. So many places I want to see. I know I'll get there someday. I'll find a way, somehow. I'm sure of it.
Well, if you find it, do me a favor and leave me out of it.
Crap ball. Crap ball. Exploration. Each one will get a good clean slate. Forward the gummy ship. We got pages. As well. Good finger secret. Dumbo.
Goodbye, you guys.
I I remember right, Disney does have Winnie the Pooh. Pull all the pumpkins. Distraction! There goes our vegetable. Ooh. There goes your vegetable garden.
The fish. Oh, the cabbage too.
Oh yeah, everything.
And all the
I wonder if this is how you bring out the rabbit by desecrating its garden.
I can lift that all the flag.
We'll hear it.
Come on! Ha!
Look at the fence.
Oh.
Yes, I know. A wizard.
It's like all based off like the first episode of Winnie the Pooh. Sadly, he doesn't get stuck though in the hole. Oh bother. Never can find the honey. Ooh, the ransacker. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, it's like they recreate a lot of the first, like those two episodes we watched. Yeah. You're back.
That's pretty good.
Oh, there we go. He's stuck.
Fire! Deep freeze!
Hey there! Name's Tigger. T-I-double-G-R. That spells Tigger. Well now, I don't think I've ever seen you before.
Hello, Tigger. You've just bounced my new friend, Sora.
Hey, Pooh. Say, you're looking mighty uncomfy today. Is that some new exercise? Why, bouncing around is a lot more fun.
Well, why do you bounce around so much, Tigger?
Why? 'Cause bouncing's what Tiggers do best. Speaking of which, my bouncing spot has gone and disappeared. So for now, this will be my new bouncing ground.
Darn it. Slam it. Bill? Oh.
Hey, you kept up pretty good there, Sora. Especially for a non-Tigger. Let's have another go.
Then
They just drew back.
I pull out.
Gonna pull it out again?
Yeah, just pull out one.
It does nothing. It just gone.
I wonder if the get it back.
Please wait. I can play that again. If I get perfect score.
Bother. Oh, where am I? It's ever so dark in here. Well, it isn't so bad, I suppose. There is plenty of honey.
Oh, honey.
Come on, Tigger. Go left. Alright. Four. Mac, I messed up. Get out of here. Best. Yes. Oh. This burn. Or not. I'm done this game.
Yeah, give up, Gary.
Thanks, buddy. One more page. Is that Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, that's Jordan's. Are the All Fools 3 for me? Is that one of them for Progressive? Just you or not? You actually know the lyrics. It's not surprising. You. I don't know the lyrics. I have to get the definitions. I'll do that. You wash your hands? Go wash your hands. That's when to wash your hands. Not up there?
This one.
Yeah, she's in here. Extra baby girl. You got choice between play games or watch the game. Quick. call Papa J. Go ask Mom to call Papa J. There he is. Nothing nightmares the way Pooh walks. I feel like he's going to eat me. Look at that. You feel like Pooh's going to eat me the way he walks? Charlie. Give me a look. Look at that. Rawr. L-A-Z-E. Come on, dude. I'm going to eat your flesh because I'm the zombie Pooh. Alright, Charlie, F4, we gotta do a break step, okay? So 17 minutes. Stop that. Huh. Build my house for Pooh won't land on it. He is a stuffed animal, so he could probably take a good swing. Stuck. N-E-P-H. That's Y. P-H. The Hero Brine. What's a Hero Brine? I don't know what a Hero Brine is. I don't even know what a Hero Brine is.
Where? Yes. Hi.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know what a Hero Brine is.
Basically, it's here find the address.
Go to the restroom. Be back. Owen.
Yeah.
Must be that first one. So complete flexible brain if it doesn't work. Right?
I
Oh, it's like an extraction. Oh, it's a mod. Unmodded Minecraft. No. The only time you could do mod of it is if someone's here who knows how to mod.
can't.
But we're just not going to be downloading random stuff. Absolutely not. Dad already defeated Ursula. There's no more Ursula. No, there's no Ursula, baby girl. This is Tigger. Dad's trying to prevent Tigger from getting the carrots. Okay, game. Way to glitch out like that. Oh, especially yeah, because that could have been a virus. Like, so we're not. I'm not going to open the modding portal, especially when you can only be on peaceful. But still, like right now, we're just going to stick to vanilla until you don't have to be in peaceful. Because modding opens up a whole nother world. That, especially Hero Bribe, like when I look at it, it looks like a scary character. That's what they're saying on there too. And so, okay, we're just not going to. Again, we're just not going to do modding until you can play Minecraft without having to be in peaceful. Still, I'm saying absolutely no to modding Minecraft until you could be out peaceful. I'm making that call. We're not going to open the realm of modding until you could be out peaceful. Let's see. So rush. With the world of modding, my friend, if we open that portal, that's like saying you can go anywhere on the internet. Just how modding works is anyone can make anything. And,
No, we destroy, not make.
but I'm talking about people. If you install it, they could have added anything else onto the mod. And so I'm not taking a chance with the mod, with modding, until you get the out of peace. Pretty well my first time. We're done stopping Tigger trying to get to. Has been defeated. We'll have to deal with Kyle all first later. Alright, Char. This is what I'll say. Whenever Justin gets on, he could help me lead through the process on how to properly mod Minecraft, okay? Huh?
Here! Deep freeze! See ya!
Press go break. Go through break something, friend. Well, I guess it's the game you could pause without any harm. We could do that after the break stuff. But that's our agreement, my friend, is after break stuff. We definitely done one like this one before. Paying taxes to Caesar. Alright. Are you ready, my friend? Okay. I can wait. Idea, you want me to try using Google search and see what it says? Light. Maybe Jasper, Chalcedony, Murray, Mountain. That looks like the one that you have. This person on Etsy. This person on Etsy is selling. That literally looks like almost your rock. He's doing a nice little flex. But actually, I can't tell because that one's a lot more smooth. Oh. Non-metallic early to critique. Hardness 1. If you want to, I just do it at home where you have the hammer. You're just gonna go throw it on the cement. Huh. I'll just do it up front, please. You want me to open the garage door and you can throw it? Okay. We'll be right back, friends. But on you. Alright. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you wanna go rock searching now?
I think they did try to fake me.
Please tell me I saved my part. Yeah, dude. Oh god, I didn't save. I let my guard down. Terrible mistake. Alright guys, save. We're doing this today, maybe on tonight, I don't know. I might watch Stranger Things with my wife, see how it goes. Save. Review all this. Again. Silly goose. Alright, without further ado, love you guys. Bye.